Hello, my name is Sherilyn and I'm a music teacher from Malaysia. In this podcast, you will hear me share stories about my teaching career and other stuff that interests me, such that I want to share with you. Stay tuned and listen to what's coming next in this episode. Hello listeners, welcome back to another episode of Adventures of a Music Educator. And I'm Sherilyn, the host of this podcast. So I was thinking, what else can I share, as this is only the 4th episode, and I thought I will tell you a little bit about why I started this podcast. Actually, it's been a while since I thought about it. I was exposed to podcasts for, I think, several years, but I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't really subscribe to anyone in particular or listen to anyone in particular. But in the Malaysian scene, podcast seems to be a growing platform, a growing social media platform for many people who want to share their stories, want to share information, knowledge, things like that. And in the last few weeks, I have been listening to a lot of podcasts. So I use Spotify as my main music listening platform. Not only I use it for leisure, but I use it for work as well, to get to know what children or teenagers are listening to today, and to know what's trending and what's not. Okay, so so on my Spotify, ever since they started having the podcast section, I didn't really explore it much until the last 1 year. And I've been following music educators around the world as long as they are present on the internet. But I mainly follow them on Facebook or maybe Instagram. Okay, Facebook and Instagram at most. But I found that there's a lot of interesting podcasts out there. And one of the few people that I listen to on podcasts is people like Katie Wardrobe's Midnight Music, and also Tim Topham's Top Music. Both are very popular, music education techists, and they're both based in Australia. That's a coincidence. So yeah, I've been following their podcast a lot, and I've gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight about what music teachers are doing around the world. So I find that there's not many in the Malaysian scene, and mostly it's not like music education related. And so I've been on a podcast search recently, really seriously looking into it, like who is in the podcast scene. And I was also interested to find some podcasts related to cello playing, because I am learning the cello, so it's my second instrument, and I want to develop the language for it. So I thought I could find some, cello related podcasts, but I'll talk about that another day. So coming back to Malaysian music education podcast. So I've been looking around, and I stumbled across Samad's podcast called Music from A to Z, and you can find him on Spotify. And that's how I found him, actually. And he is the reason that I really get started on podcasting, because he is promoting Anchor as a free podcast upload platform kind of thing, and it's like it can distribute to many major platforms. So I thought this is great. It's free and it's very user friendly. I can use it on my phone, I can use it on my computer, iPad if I want to. But for most part, I've been using Anchor on my laptop. And yeah, I've been following Samad for a couple of days only. I just discovered him in the past week. I didn't know that he has a podcast. I'm aware of who he is. He is one of Malaysians, our Malaysian pride. He's a guitarist. So I'm not much of a guitarist, but it's very interesting to know what he has to say about music and general stuff. So then I was, looking around for other podcasts, and just so happened today I stumbled across another podcast called Music Talk with Bobby Rose. And I was like, wow, Bobby, I didn't know there's another like local music grad that, jump into this whole podcasting. But, one day if I hope I got a chance to collab with some, Malaysian music educators like Bobby Rose or Asamat. It would be great to do those kind of things. And I like the conversations that I've been hearing on Bobby Rose. And it's good. It's a lot about our local music education scene, and he interviews quite a number of people from, I would say, different specializations. Some are ethnomusicologists, some are like jazz pianists, some maybe are singers. Good mix, I would say. And I really salute Bobby Rose for creating that channel. And from there I saw that he also I heard he mentioned that he has a YouTube channel, and from there, like, oh, okay, I just go and check out his YouTube channel, and I thought that's interesting, and I could see growth, even though I haven't finished listening to all his podcasts that he has so far, but the content is good. And I think this kind of content is important. They are very important, very informative for our local music education scene, especially in Malaysia. We need this kind of exposure. Yeah, the more we know, the more you feel like, Malaysia is really a small country, and there's a whole big wide world out there that we haven't explored. And I always tell my friends this, we cannot just what we are doing inside here in the country, what we are doing for music education at least. I know that it's very tough to break the market here sometimes, in the sense of breaking the mindset, breaking the mold, but we gotta keep trying, especially for those of us who are exposed to what's happening out there already. So I'm going to leave it here, and hopefully I can talk more about this in future episodes. And thanks for listening. Thank you for joining my adventures, and I hope that you have learned something new. Feel free to connect with me on my social media handles, Share the Music, email me at sharethemusic@gmail.com, or visit my website, sharethemusic.org. I can't wait to hear from you, and see you soon in the next episode.